Yeah, my name is Jimmy, sincerely Duran. I have a CDL, plays on the radio all over the world. I am a Christian. My life wasn't always like this, of course. You know, I grew up in the barrio, not too far from here. I ended up in prison for doing a lot of violent things from the lifestyle that I lived. But God touched my life, but then I wanted to live my own life at the same time. Ended up doing my own thing, ended up in prison at the age of 22 for shooting a couple people, you know, and while I was in prison, people were telling me about the Lord. I wanted to serve God. I always loved God, but I was running from Him. But then one day, one of our one of my partners, one of the road dogs that were locked up with me, he tells me, "Hey Jimmy, let's go to chapel." So I told him, you know, like anybody else would in jail, what are you scared? And he didn't know that I had already gone to church as a kid and that I was running from God. So he told me that his dad was a pastor and that he was running from God too, but he wasn't ready to commit. So I went to the chapel with him, and I believe God really spoke to me that day. And he said that I belonged to Him and that He had a mission for me. So I continue to serve God since 1986. And I wasn't always Jimmy Sincerely, you know, just for the past 8 years, I've been seeing Christian oldies. But that was then when God touched my life and really dedicated my life. The homies on the yard, my road dog at the time, he tells me, just be real. He says, at first he says, say it's not so. And I told him, you know what? I didn't want to serve God in prison. You know, that's the last thing that I wanted to do. I was doing the Sureno thing. But he tells me, you know what? Just be real and don't play no games or else I'll take you out myself. I understood where he was coming from. You know, and I told him I wasn't playing games, and so he didn't have to worry about that. You know, and what would I say to somebody that's working in the field? I'm actually working in the field as a mental health worker. I've been certified for drug and alcohol counseling. I've also anger management, crisis intervention, gang intervention. I work right now currently with California State Parole. So I used to be on parole, but now I get paid by parole, amen, to counsel parolees, you know. And I actually faced life 3 separate times, you know, and to the glory of God, I'm free, you know. So I've been in, I'm out now, and I'm sharing what God has done within my life. And I know that if I can do it, you know, any of the people that are locked up right now can. I have a heart for the prisoner, but I also have a heart for those that are working in the mix. You know what I mean? As far as trying to reach them to get them out, you know, those workers, they're it's all good, you know. Like NA is a good program, AA is a good program, you know, they have proven success. But I know that God can make an impact in a life and allow somebody to never stumble again, never go back. You know, I know they might slip a little bit, but ultimately they will not go back to the lifestyle that they used to live. That there's both secular and Christian, you know, collaborations going forth, you know, and as far as the people that are mentoring youth, you know, now I believe you got to reach them young, but that's prevention, you know. But then there's intervention, and those the hardcore. Some people think that they can't reach them, you know. Some people think it says, well, they'll only be reached if they want to be reached, you know. But that's not true, because God stopped me dead in my tracks, right? So if those workers that are saying, you know what, there's a certain element of people that we can't reach, don't believe that. That's a lie. You can reach them. That person that has the hardest exterior is actually usually the softest interior. You know, they're hurting inside. It's just a facade. It's a fake. It's a mask, and that could all come down. Because when I was on the yard, the people that were calling on me were the shot callers. Hey Jimmy, come here. As soon as we went around the corner, tears started to fall and asking for prayer, because they don't have all the answers either. Sure, they say only the strong survive. No, God can break through any wall. Amen.